I'm a little surprised that they have still left a couple of these options in the pool. Shadow Demon's good to prevent the Omni Knight Sven combination, but the Wisp is still a factor for me if they were opting to pick it up.
I like the Shadow Demon also with the save potential against the Mars Snapfire, because it kind of disrupts this arena setup into the burst down on one hero with the globs, and it's also, I don't know if I want to say block picking. I'm a big fan of at least a defensive support to deal with the Faceless Void, so it fits TNC a lot better, I'd say. I wonder if they also could potentially think about like going for a Lesh rack or something, because we a lot of times see like the Shadow Demon and Lesh paired together.
Yep, I think it's a good roaming combo. I mean, that's going way back. That's like TI4 days, that roaming duo where they're bringing it back, baby. It's just like fashion. Every 6 years or whatever it is, things come back into the meta, and for Dota, it's this Shadow Demon Lesh.
Alright, so what do Vice want right now? We see the Earth Spirit last game had a very good game, honestly. There was a high impact. That Magnetize just caused so much nuisance, and it just caused them to make it very awkward for them to take these fights. But again, so what do we so the Snap's either the 5 or the 2. They pick up the Wraith King. Now this has been a hero that we haven't seen the Faceless Void a lot, but the Wraith King is, in my opinion, one of the best ways to deal with the Faceless Void, because you trade Chronosphere for your second life, well, for your Reincarnation ulti, trading ultis for ultis, and it works out so much better for the Wraith King. The only way Void really feels comfortable in this matchup is if you're super far ahead, where you can kill the Wraith King without having to utilize that ultimate.
10 seconds remaining.
I know it was picked up a lot more in China. I wasn't able to watch all of the games that you were casting. How did Wraith King fare in the Chinese games that you were...
I was very surprised that we didn't see more Wraith Kings because of how consistent the Void was getting picked up. And like whenever you counter one of the meta heroes, you're always going to have at least some value. But Wraith King still doesn't feel too strong. Like we don't see it with a steroid right now. I think it's pretty good this game, because you take a look, TNC, they've kind of put their... At least Shadow Demon and Lesh aren't, but the Phoenix and the Void are together with this team fight. So you kill the Wraith King, he comes back with that extra life, and then it's going to go to work. So it was... I only saw it a couple times. It worked relatively well, more than it lost, though. I was pretty impressed with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan, of course, like, conceptually. Wraith King, exactly. Faceless Void, great.
10 seconds
but the hero just kind of sucks for the Wraith King, so I'm still on this IO train. I think you can like run a Snapfire mid, IO support, Mars 3, Earth Spirit 4, and still make it work, because Wraith King, he's one of those heroes that has such a terrible attack animation that, like, even if you're not going to go into a Midas, it's why a lot of people buy that Gloves of Haste so early on, because you... comparatively to other heroes like Juggernaut that have a really good attack speed, it provides a lot more. It's like diminishing returns, I guess you could call it. So I want to see the IO come through for the overcharge to help with the farming, to help with these early team fights, and I think it can work. But it's an AA.
That is another old combo with the Wraith King. Now they've got a very strong lane. The Wraith Fire Blast sets up for the AA follow-up, and the Cold Feet, you've got the Earth Spirit that also can follow up. And now it's also like they have very good stuns in general to be able to set up for the Ice Blast. The single target, then the Mars ulti, takes away from the heal with that Time Walk, and it's pretty goddamn good against the Lesh as well.
Yeah, I suppose. Am I worried as much? Like, Lesh should dumpster this Ancient Apparition in any sort of team fights. Like, he's just going to start sprinting towards him, wipe him out. If he could get off his ultimate, he'll be like, I did my job. I just don't know how I feel about the AA. Beastmaster for them, huh? I guess it's alright. You're going to be getting some big crits, though, onto the boars if you get in range. That's the big thing to be concerned about. I would have much rathered something that's... Did Sven make it all the way through, or was it actually banned?
I don't remember, actually.
I just know it wasn't in the first phase, but I don't know. I would much rather see something like an IO. It enables this... it's not a global strat, but it enables a lot more pickoffs a lot more quickly, just because you've obviously got the Earth Spirit, Snapfire, like we were expecting. It is going to be run mid, so Bob is just going to be able to toss people in, let's say Enryu, means that he doesn't need to go a Blink Dagger, can go
10
into more
seconds remaining.
team fight items, let's say a Vlad's, Yule Scepter.
5 seconds remaining.
Not a huge fan of the Yule Scepter on the Mars, but you can even go into things like a Desolator, you know, and just quickly burst someone down within the duration of the Gobble Up stun. Use the Rebuke, spear someone to a tree, toss up your ultimate. They're dead. Even a Faceless Void is dead. Febi's not going to have enough healing to be able to keep them alive for that period.
I agree as well. I think the Ire would have probably been a better pick because it enables a Wraith King and it also gives you another defensive support to really protect someone inside the Chrono. I think that's a big factor which they don't have at the moment, and it's always nice when you have at least some way to disrupt that Chronosphere combo. And with this last pick from TNC with the Beastmaster, I mean, now it gives you the Raw to set up for Armel's stun. I think Vision is so important in this game as well because it's on, you know, if Vice get the jump on the Mars Snapfire, then it's going to make it very difficult for TNC to counter up. But if TNC, if they get the jump first with like the Void Phoenix combo, and then it also now enables the Beastmaster and Lesh to take objectives super early on. So the thing is that I mean, Wraith King, can the Wraith King and the Ancient Apparition deal with the Borzo? That's my question.
Probably not is the short way of putting it. I think maybe you're gonna need to toss the Earth Spirit there for the very beginning. Make sure that you can at least get a couple of levels, little bit of extra experience into this AA.
Prepare
If
for
you get
battle.
level 2 Chilling Touch, that's 90 extra damage, and maybe then you can start to try and, you know, cope with it a little bit more. But you're always going to be in a vulnerable position where you've got... Wait, who's actually playing the 4? So it's Tim's 4. Okay. So if you're out of position, you can even just get surrounded with the illusions plus the boar, right? And there's no real way for you to get out of it as the AA. No escape mechanisms. So I feel like if he's out of position, he's going to be dying a fair amount. This smoke, could they catch anyone out? Samael's probably the best person that could be the one to pop this, but he doesn't have the boulder, so has to be careful.
He's got the brown boots though, so Samael is going to be able to scurry himself away. You see, it does give TNC an opportunity to place a pretty aggressive ward through the mid side. It's going to be a lot more difficult to get dewarded. And it's also going to see when the Snapfire is starting to kind of try and clear that small camp as well.
They should know though, like,
yeah,
if you're making that kind of rotation through, the ward's pretty obvious. I guess maybe they might think it's in their tri-camp area, considering the Wraith King, you know, he's got decent ancient taking potential with the skeletons once they're leveled up.
Oh, Spirit?
The battle
begins. Okay, I thought the Void was actually going to keep following up there, but they just want to make sure they get both the bounties. So TNC get 3.
They're blocking him in.
Well, they know he's got kick now. They're anticipating that he had the roll, but he still takes a lot of damage there. So only got one more Tango to be able to utilize now as well. And they may have seen Radiant actually place that ward mid with the Hawk from KP. So we'll see Tim's is coming over and he's got a sentry instead of just TPing bot. So he's actually just going to try and put some pressure on and even D-ward afterwards. Banishment. Nice little stun set up here, and yeah, Bob's just eating the damage. Even Samael is going to try and come and help out as well.
Yeah, he's just being harassed out a little bit here as well. It leaves KP on his own, so the fact that he's been able to keep this boar alive means that he's been doing a pretty good job. He obviously has to sacrifice last hits for that, but good creep control as well, making sure to aggro the ones closer towards him, and he's going to be able to do just a fine job. You can see going for the attempt there, but with the cold feet being leveled up, not quite having enough to be able to burst him down. Even getting some denies onto the range creep, so nicely done.
See, with Tim's helping out now, at least in the lane, it might further enable KP, but they are kind of shoving in the lane at the moment, and with the extra creeps, let's see if they want to put some little bit of damage on Palos, but is already, I mean, it's only, you know, one in the ball, so that extra level, of course, not being there this early on, we'll see that really be a potential. And this is another thing, like we saw the Ancient Apparition, I think it was yesterday, when the Beastmaster was also played as well, and it's still just going to be a very difficult lane. It's going to make it very easy for Shadow Demon to catch you out with the banishment, and then KP will follow up. So Zenki's going to be pretty goddamn perfect with his positioning in this lane.
And the difference with that lane as well was that they had a Spectre who eventually, once he had his dagger leveled up a little bit, could deal with the boars a little bit more effectively. But not so much the case with the Wraith King, that's for sure.
Yeah, like you're a hero who doesn't have the greatest mana pool overall, and you want to use the combo to find kills with the Wraith Fire Blast and the Cold Feet instead of just trying to find the Beastmaster summons there. So they get the pill off, although KP will take a lot of damage for it without Tims being in the area. At least gonna disrupt the Cold Feet, but
You can see here, KP, he's pretty resigned to the fact that he's going to be copping a fair bit of harass. He went in the double ring of regen, so not going to be this big beastly frontliner. He just needs to make sure that he's having a decent time in the laning stage, and then maybe come online a little later than he might like. But TNC have the expertise to be able to delay the game out for long enough that it's not going to be hurting them too much. They're already kind of playing for the late-ish game with this Faceless Void pick.
you already see
the Phoenix
Febby as well making some stacks for the Lesh. Tried to dive
One of the best. One of the best at it. Within the C region, I would probably say Febby. He's taken that mantle over from March, who used to play for TNC. So.
Yep. Can he get the pull? Yeah, he should be able to get. Oh no! It gets a range creep at least.
That's good.
Yeah.
Like this range creep will kill this camp, except for like maybe one creep.
It's such a crap camp, isn't it?
It's horrible. It is
Dire's
woeful.
structures are fortified.
Not gonna get to work.
I'm
Just
telling
chilling.
you, man. It does the. Oh, it's so useless.
And honestly, like that's kind of what you want as well, considering like if you get all the creeps, then you're just gonna have this double wave coming through because it's a single pull. So yeah, at least you get that range creep deny, and maybe he's even going to be able to go over there and get some extra CS. But we don't have rotations just yet. Looks like Feb is blocking the Earth Spirit from helping out with the 4-minute power rune spawn. And will be bot. Does Feb actually want to get aggressive here? Dives up. Needs a body block off the Earth Spirit because he does have roll, but he's taking an immense amount of damage.
Invisibility.
They actually bottle up and give Tims the invis there. So still Lesh gets a bottle, but they're trying to set up. And Radiant, they didn't have an observer in the area, so they're going to be careful here and try and move forward. Armel's got 3 points in the Edict. Let's see if the creeps are going to tank it up, however. Going to try and move forward for some mail, but he doesn't have too much health as well. Now he's got to be careful because he wasn't actually back to base. Now with the Edict, yeah, just shreds him down. They might be able to get Bob. They've already used the glyph, so they won't have it. But yeah, Tim's 2 points up in the poison, 4 stacks is there. And he gets a double. That's a lot of gold for your Shadow Demon.
One of those heroes that loves to roam. You talked in the draft about the less Shadow Demon combination. Before it was support, but if you've already got the money to be able to do so as this position for SD, you're having a fine time. He's been able to stack up one extra camp as well for him.
Oh, this is great from TNC. The Lesh got the bounty, and he's even wrapping top as well. I mean, they've got the ward, but Enryu is in big trouble here.
Dire's
Mel's even
middle
got to be
tower
careful.
is under attack.
Yeah, missing a few spells here, honestly, across the board, but it's going to be fine. No harm, no foul.
Well, you do see Dire, at least CS-wise, they are a bit behind the rest of the Radiant cores, but they've got 2 kills, so enabling this net worth lead, and they were able to find a couple of bounties as well to their name. They're setting up once again. We see Tim's enabling with the rotation. The boot's making it a lot more easier, but here comes the rotations. Armel's got the 6, so it's going to be a lot more damage. Can you get the distance with the cookie, though? Bob needs to get on the higher ground just in the nick of time. The kick slow's not there, though, so Armel will be able to chase him down, and the Pulse Nova gets that kill. Meanwhile, Tims, he's just soloing up the Earth Spirit. I mean, he's got this infused range drop for the extra mana regen, and he should be able to get one more tick in. Nice. It's a double kill again for Tims. Oh, my.
Yeah, he ended up sniping the kill on the Snapfire. He had 3 stacks of the Shadow Poison on top of him. My kill, says the
Radiant's
support.
middle tower is under attack.
I'm the carry now.
See what he's going to try and go for. KP's also shoving in the lane down bot. Palace is actually going to be kind of careful because they know the support's TP'd mid. Although,
Getting a little lucky here on Enryu. Yeah, he gets the triple bash onto him. Will he get lucky again?
Samel's
Doesn't look
coming
like he
up
actually
here.
time walked forward as well, so he has to be a little bit careful.
Bash
Oh,
in a
who's
second.
careful?
Oh my
Middle tower is
lord,
under
Gabby,
attack.
the chances. Oh, through the roof. And Armel even gets another kill. They are TNC through this early game are playing incredibly well. And here we go, KP. Thinking about diving. Have the rest of the wave coming forward. He's only got 1 boar as well at the moment.
He's nearly got his 6th though, and he should be hitting it before the Wraith King, so there's some good gank potential that's possible here. He's Feeling a little bit worried though.
This catapult dies. I believe it should be enough for the 6.
There we go.
KP, there we go. Has the ultimate. Zenki's going to come forward, but it looks like KP's damage should be enough. Stick pop, more damage. There we go. They're going to try and bring down Bob, however. He does have the Mortimer Kisses, and with the slow KP, unfortunately, will pay the price, but that's 2 heroes from Vice down bot, and you get the kill on the Wraith King too.
Yeah, well worth it. Nice timing, and it just shows the effectiveness of effectively managing your boars. If that was literally like one of them going down, it means Wraith King's level 6 probably doesn't want to skill the reincarnate right at 6, but you would much rather that when... oh, that's another Chronosphere drop, top lane.
Armel's even going to TP forward as well, so the Mars ultra dead. Armel just getting very involved early on, 2-0 and 4. And he's just going to try and move through the jungle, take some stacks now. They're also going to be able to have Tims continue. Oh, look at the amount of stacks that's there for them. I mean, Shadow Demon, you brought up that Febby has kind of taken over the role for making stacks, but you got to keep in mind, if you got a Shadow Demon, he's one of the better ones to continue up. It looks like Tims actually...
Man, you got 4 kills. Isn't that enough?
I mean, he was soaking up some experience mid, and I mean, he's going to be level 6 incredibly soon, and this could be like an early 8th lens or something, and we might feel a lot of pressure start to come through from the Shadow Demon, the Lesh early on, and that Vice might not be ready for it. Even
he's just
Lesh,
getting it low for the Lesh.
It did take a couple though, let's be...
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Selfless.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Oh, the arcane rune.
This is a good smoke.
What a time.
See if Vice are going to be able to connect fast enough. However, the roll forward. They catch up Tims. He just got the level 6 though. Gets
he's inside the arena.
Right next to tier 1. They got the Ice Blast as well already. The supports are somehow incredibly high levels. Is the damage enough on Tims though? It might be. Ooh, that's a big kill if they find it. Let's see if he ticks out. No, okay. Well, somehow the AA6. Look at the levels actually coming through from the supports. Unfortunately, the Earth Spirit 3 and Febby's 4, but rest of them pretty comfortable, and KP just went a little bit too late down bot, but no one is here now, so this is complete free tower. Armel mid, that's a deep dive from him, and he's gonna get punished.
Lots of money coming over to the position 4 on Vice's side. Sumail enjoying that. I think the AA having the Ice Blast is just a result of the Wraith King dying to KP when they made that rotation. Immediately afterwards, the Snapfire just smoked up, went straight back to mid, and he was just down there to soak the solo experience all for himself.
And Gabby's already got a Midas. This is a 4,000 net worth wave. They're not even 10 minutes into the game. Like TNC are playing so incredibly well. You see how farmed Tims is actually. This is crazy. He's loving life, continuing to find some stacks in the jungle. He's gonna recognize that camp is blocked eventually if he walks back up here. He's got a sentry already. Drop it. Get rid of that one, but
just had to double check that he hadn't, sentryed himself again.
For a second I'm like, oh, that was a bit close there.
They know what's going on, though. They've got this nice deep observer ward, not blocking the ancient camp, but still, they know what's going on. So, the question is, when are they going to start contesting that? Because it'll take a little bit of time to take the ancient stack compared to just normal creeps because of the magic resist.
Alos. I get caught out here, levels up the ultimate instantly with the rotations, but they've got very good vision at the moment thanks to the Beastmaster, but they've got to be careful. Beautiful banish from Tims. Disrupts the combo with the Ice Blast, and now they might continue to dive if they want to. Or do they want the tower just instead? I mean, a lot forced out here mid. Bob's going to show up though, still doesn't have the ultimate. And even Chrono is available if you want to show up here, but I mean, Void is free farming. So it might not really feel too pressured, and it looks like TNC are just going to be able to get this tier 1 tower for free, knowing that the arena's on cooldown, Ice Blast is down as well, and they're going to maybe think about linking up and honestly heading to top, but Febby?
Palace has to be a little careful here. The rest of the team's around.
Yeah, they might turn Dire. They got a very good ward on the high ground.
I mean, dying now is horrible, yeah. Well,
wow, Gabby, 2-man Chrono. Febby's got the Sun Ray beautifully timed there from TNC. We see Gabby finally showing up, not needing to join in mid. Bob makes it out, but the consequence is going to be the Wraith King there. And now they can link up for another objectives. Man, TNC are playing this game flawlessly.
Yeah, and to be real, that was a bit of a misplay from Palace. He's so close to buying that Hand of Midas that you can't look to go for kills when you know the enemy team is just around. They just took the mid tower, so there was no reason not to suspect that they might try and come and contest that, especially with how low he was when he escaped the previous game.
Top tower has fallen.
Conversely, oh, by the way, another ancient stack being brought up here by Tims.
Well, this could be a decent way for Radiant. They need to contest this, I think, because you've got Arena's back up, Ice Blast back up, pretty low cooldown. You know that they also chronoed, and you have this deep ward, so you have to punish it. You cannot let that go away. Unfortunately, Tims is in a great spot to be able to pop it, but it looks like they know they don't want that target.
Another stack as well in the Dire jungle. Febby and Tims are playing insane this game.
They are, I mean, you think they're already far enough ahead? Let's just make it even more as well. Tims, no, his speed on the low ground. Okay, they get the kill. Whew, I was going to say, well, 427 gold, but they don't contest the stack now, and also Bob's kind of stuck for a little bit.
It'll be fun. It's just admiring the view.
It's been
they know this is going on. Here we go. Ice Blast is coming out.
I'm perfectly from Sumail here.
Oh, the neutral crit gets it though.
Oh no. Now with
just
the kisses,
use the kisses.
Well. KP.
Just take the ancients.
What's going on? Top Palos might actually end up falling to the left track here. We still got the fight around the ancient stack as well. Gonna keep that in mind. TNC are gonna try and protect this. Looks like they gonna lose a couple of the creeps there. Wraithy actually didn't have the reincarnation, so yeah, Armor gets a solo kill. Okay, nicely done.
200 seconds for the level
That's
1.
The thing,
yeah, it just doubles the effect of that previous death that shouldn't have happened. You know, at least he's been able to get the Midas off before he went down, but he is just falling further and further behind this Faceless Void, who, you know, he's got a Midas himself, and, you know, the neutral creep was the one that killed him, so it's not the worst situation.
Just gonna still be able to get a couple of the stacks, and he's even going Diffusal Blade as well, so before, you know, the Wraith King hits that level 20 talent. And Armel's hunting though. Can he get the Yules? Just in the nick of time with the rollout. But you see how much pressure TNC are really wanting to put on. They're just hunting. And this tier 2 tower might be that next objective, as we even see the cheeky boots travel play thanks to the help of the Beastmasters. Now they've even got an goddamn arcane rune.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Why not? You know? Just value.
Make things easier. Why not?
Here we go, smoke coming up. Kind of rare to be smoking on the enemy side of the map where they've got it warded. It was right underneath this Radiant jungle ward, and this time Palos just books it to the rest of his team. He knows that he needs the backup to be able to take this one. Maybe they could try and fight around some of this high ground vision that they had, but they're more interested in backing off Sumail. He's getting caught out by the Yules.
He's going to need some help, but it looks like Radiant, they might just retreat with the Earth Spirit getting brought down. They haven't TP'd out just yet, and now they might just get punished with no one disengaged, and Zenki will tank it the follow-up. Bob's still in trouble as well. I mean, he's going to cut through the trees, so they're well aware of the positioning right now, and yet Bob's just going to end up dying as well. I mean, they knew they were coming with that smoke. I'm surprised they didn't just all dip out.
Yeah. It's the choice of either dip out or fight as a team,
yep.
You know? Don't go in one by one. It was kind of the worst of both worlds.
And it looked like the Earth Spirit was in a spot to kind of like pop the smoke and try and roll away, but he didn't have a ward there to also scout, so it kind of just, it felt like Vice maybe in two minds. You know, the communication maybe not up to par for them to be able to take that engagement, and just allows TNC to further find some control. And I mean, you know, this is all with they feel so worried that they're actually roshing already.
Can't blame him, to be fair. You know, it's a pretty strong lead that they've had so far. Gabby, he's gone for something a little bit unconventional with the Diffusal Blade, but against a Wraith King, I mean, they say, oh, you just try and counter my hero pick? Well, I'll counter yours as well, just with a simple item.
Gabby's got Chrono. They don't see him just yet with the positioning, so this is going to be a decent spot for them. There we go. They're going to finally see Gabby. They can move forward, but they've got all their abilities. Supernova drop. Silence going to prevent the Chrono, but the bash just in the nick of time. Sumail's going to get chased down. Can the rest of the team disengage though? They still have this ward on the high ground, so KP's hunting and Ryu. They get in the tree line. He wants Bob as well. Trees cuts it. KP not fast enough. Maybe the ping not helping out in the favor. So,
they're going for a kill onto Tims. He gets the Ice Blast launched onto him, but Armel's backing him up. Have to be careful about Enryu doing this little bit of a wraparound though, but who's running into who is the big question. We've got a bit of a pincer going on here.
Nobody got the angle right now. There we go. Tim sets up for the lead on top of the Wraith King, but he's got the reincarnation. It's just two TNC heroes at the moment. Maybe they've been baited into a bad fight here as yours. It's not going to be too fast enough as the speed will come out. They still do get the reincarnation, which a long cooldown you got to keep in mind, but you know, costs the Shadow Demon his life.
Wait, what level is he? He's level 11. That's worth it. You know, if he'd hit up onto his level 12, then maybe it's not quite so worth it. But there's a big difference between 2 minutes and 3 minutes 20 for being able to know you're taking team fights and potentially forcing a buyback if you get a high priority objective.
Radiant, they do have the Aghanims actually now as well, so this is going to be a pretty big item for them to try and, you know, maybe contest the fight, just send the Mars on the back line. Even the Earth Spirit as well is going to feel pretty nice. But while they're roshing, this Medallion from KP making them shred it through. But oh, and Ryu is going to be able to catch out the Shadow Demon here. Febi's Sunray, even though it's maxed out, isn't going to be enough. So a nice pick off from Vice, but it is going to cost them Rosh, however, as Gabby will claim the Aegis.
Nice objective to take. They're just going to go back, maybe grab their tier 2 items and group up together with the Shadow Demon, who, by the way, is going for a straight axe, and then look to take the advantage. You know, you've got the advantage of having this 10k net worth lead, you've got the Wraith King with no reincarnate available, and you've got your own with the Aegis. Chronosphere is available again too.
Yeah, they're hunting right now. TNC, unfortunately, don't really... Without the jump... Oh, Gabby, does he get a back? Oh my, I thought he did, honestly. Jeez, gave me a heart attack. No one Gabby's like... I mean, he got so many bashes early in that laning phase, and they're still kind of sticking around the triangle where Dire still have this observe board as well, so they know exactly where the Earth Spirit's positioning. Let's see if we can get there's the first tier bash, and... Oh, unfortunately... At least the rest of the cores make it out, but that's just another free pick off for Gabby. They're even hunting bot. Palos, can they get the stun just in the nick of time? Instead, the Yule Scepter instant instead of that cast animation, the split earth. So Palos will pay the price.
They're going in onto the void.
He's got to be careful. He's got that Aegis though. Still deal with the first life. There's no more follow-up stuns, and Feb is also here as well, so they can turn with the Chrono combined up with the Supernova if need be.
He's happy to back off though, but still, you've done a little bit to be able to push things back a little bit. Palos ends up dying. He's going to be up in 20 seconds or so. Still a minute left on that reincarnate, and oh, you hate to see it, the Midas, the worst item in the game, still available to be used.
Massive Midas.
Massive Midas.
Please. It feels so... What, is there a worse thing in Dota than being dead and your Midas on off cooldown?
I mean, it's kind of a new thing, but I hate people that there's like many neutral items they can choose from and they're just holding nothing.
That is
triggers
true.
me a little bit. It's like, literally take anything. Iron Tower gives you 2 armor. That might be the difference.
Radiant's bottom tower has
Oh, even sometimes, I mean, that's another thing, but yeah, when you don't like backpack a leveler or have a greater fairy fire in like the backpack if no one's holding it, it's like...
Oh, you just reminded me. People that like... that take cheese from Roche, but never actually have it in their inventory, you know, during a team fight. It's like, well, so-and-so could have used that cheese, you know, and now we've lost the game because of it, you know, things like that, but...
Yeah, there's a couple annoying things that can come out, but... TNC are hunting, uh-oh, top. Bob's in trouble here as Armel is going to be able to catch out the Snapfire. He does have Zenki in range for the Ice Blast, but it's only gets the pass-through on Armel. Now Zenki showing himself. Have they got the damage to secure it? Oh my god, he just stays alive. That Fire Spirit doesn't take him out as well.
Could have used Supernova, but at the end of the day, it's just a position 5. Probably not worth. What are you doing up here,
No, that's
Febby?
the dominance. You got it. You drop it there. 100%. You're 13,000 net worth lead up. Just drop the Supernova on its head. Be like, show some dominance. Just put them out of this one. Literally just defeat them.
They're trying to find Gabby here. He's just sticking in the trees a little bit. The smoke will pop just as they're going past, and it's daytime, so it should be revealed here.
Armel, they've got the blink forward. Can he get out of range? Pops the BKB. They're going to try and look to turn Gabby for the time well forward. And now with the Chronosphere beautifully done. Finds 2 lashes off to the side as well. So that extra damage coming through for the Pulse Nova. Now Radiant, they need to disengage. Palace the tree line. They haven't found him just yet, but it looks like, unfortunately, the Earth Spirit Diffuser Blade's going to stop the retreat. Gabby wants a high five as well, but unfortunately won't get it. Armel, let's see if their spidey senses are tingling.
I want to have a look at their vision. Oh. It's the one spot that they don't have vision of.
This new voice line is so funny. 16,000 net worth lead for TNC. I mean, it's a 5 and 22 kill count. They're just doing this one pretty goddamn methodically here, as it feels like Vice of struggling to get a foothold in this game one. You know, TNC kind of outclassing them a little bit with the early game and just really putting the pressure on, playing for behind. You know, this is the thing I highlighted, like the Wraith King versus the Void. I mean, in general, Wraith King doesn't feel like a very good hero at the moment, but when the Faceless Void is at the stage where he doesn't need to use Chrono to kill you with the first life, then it's pretty much game over.
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned before during the draft, like, Wraith King, Faceless Void, good counter. Wraith King just sucks, though, relative to the toolkit that the Void has, so if you're not getting literally the perfect setup every single time, you're going to have a rough one. And who's dying now? It's the position 4 for the position 4. Could be worse, but
they're going to punish.
Go down
Gabby, time works forward. Palace is in trouble as well. He's got the reincarnation back. Gabby just continuously slowing.
Yeah, but you got the Diffusal Blade as well, though, so...
They're going to drop the Supernova, but it looks like Palace stunned up. He won't be able to clean it now. They need a disengage, but it looks like the stun's going to get popped here. And now Wraith King still with the ultimate. Gabby's going to try and deal with the back iron. He's diving pretty deep, but he doesn't have a care in the world right now. He knows there's no damage. Level 18 from the Void. Wants the kill streak. Even Mel's finally showing up as well. Perfect timing on the stun. The Blade Mail is just going to delay this. Oh, the Time Walk timing as well. Just out of range for the roll. Palace will end up dying. Sumail will join him as well. 5 dead on Vice. Right on top of the high ground. They don't have any creeps, unfortunately. They're starting to come through now, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think Vice have kind of resigned themselves to their fate with Bob there casting the Mortimer's Kisses. He just ended up turning around in a circle and didn't even attempt the escape. But yeah, I think it just highlights again that they were really needing this save, this steroid that the IO might have provided, and it could be like Zenki. He hasn't played too much IO in recent times, so maybe that's just it. TNC during ESL 1 Thailand, they used Bob as the stand-in for one of their games where Armel, I believe either his internet was bad or he wasn't feeling well or something along those lines, and you know, clearly they pay attention to a lot of the Filipino scene, so. It's just one of these things where if you know the enemy team straight up can't play a hero rather, then, you know, you could leave it open. You can leave it out there and not risk being punished. Oh,
Bob, that is a probably not the lane you want to be in. There's a lot of bashes come through and he's going to get punished. I mean, Radiant are trying to get there, but they are just playing with their food right now, honestly, from TNC. Is that a blink? Gabby's got a blink. Why not? Why not? Sure. They might be able to find Enryu as well. He's going to try and TP. Get the blink come into play. He'll even drop the Chrono with the Time Walk, so cancels the TP. Who's going to get the kill? Oh, no. So we got another fight breaking out, though. It's just the rest of TNC are doing it by themselves. KP and Tim's going to be able to find Pelos here without the reincarnation. And Gabby's going to show up once again with the mobility helping out from the blink. He's got that extra movement as well, thanks to the 15 talent. That's another 5-man wipe in.
Call it.
Yeah, when are they tapped out here from Vice? I mean, it's 100% probability. It's what felt like it was over about 7 minutes ago.
Yeah, I was about to say they should probably tap out 5 minutes ago. Is the time to do it? Probably when Bob went down, swirling around casting the kisses before. But I think it's just the C-way. They love to fight it out,
Gabby's in. Blink, Time Walk, Radiant. They are back alive, so Gabby's going to be relatively careful, but it's so difficult to bring down, and even going for a moonshot as his next item. But TNC is going to try and slowly look to close it out. Maybe Radiant can get like a good high ground defense, magnetize, kisses, Mars Arena, Ice Blast. Who knows what they can do? They need to try and attempt something. This feels like the last attempt with the Desperation Smoke. They're going to try and wrap all the way around. Baby's going to get revealed here. That's a nice target. It's not going to drag into a full team fight, although will it? TNC, they're coming forward. Gabby blinks on top. Is going to be able to get out. He wants to with the Manta. Now dodges the Ice Blast in the back end. Raw controls the Mars. They're even going to get the break on top of the Wraith King as well, so he will not be able to retreat. He's got that extra life, but he's just going to die a secondary time here as TNC. Yes, you lose the Phoenix, but it's going to end up costing Vice way too much than what they get rewarded with it. As they're even finding an extra one. Bob will pay the price. That's going to be 4 down on Vice, and finally they'll tap out 26 minutes in.
Clinical. Wraith King, in my opinion, bad hero.
TNC Predator.
I think if you are going to play it, you just straight up can't make any mistakes, and I feel like his positioning a couple of times, especially around, you know, when he's supposed to be getting that Midas, getting the experience lead from having that sort of thing. You know, if he has level 2 ultimate, for example, at a sooner time, then obviously that's less time on the sidelines. You can play a little bit more risky. You can force TNC to perhaps try chasing you rather than always being going on the offensive. But yeah, just didn't happen this time around. I think it was a solid draft from TNC, but Vice, there was some stuff to be desired.
Yeah, definitely. I think it just shows the masterclass that TNC are. Probably just the extra experience and, you know, being in the scene, and just the cohesion that they have as a team. You know, Vice still, they've been having some solid games so far throughout the group stages. Definitely not a team to just chuck under the bus, you know, straight away, but it's a very dominating game 1 performance here from TNC. We'll see what Vice are going to be able to do in the second game, if they can tie up the series, or if TNC are going to be able to take it 2-0. We'll chuck this win to a break with game 2 right around the corner.